Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Art Study of You. I am your host, Cameron Gilmore. We just heard an absolute banger from Pascal Bachmann. This episode is going to be a recap of the gems that I pulled from this, and hopefully you pulled a lot more gems than I did. But we're going to go through the gems that I got. We're going to talk about it, but we're going to really emphasize points on how it can help us, myself included, become the best version of ourselves. I always talk about this, getting into your zone of genius, getting to that, breaking through that upper limit like Gay Hendricks talks about in The Big Leap. But first, before we get going, listen to this clip and just let it drive deep into your soul. Here we go.
Life and all the experience that we have, it's actually exactly like the seasons. This is life in general. An apple tree, for example, need to go through many falls and leave all the leaves before it actually can bear fruits. There's not a seed that grows and then you have apples on a mini tree. It doesn't work like this. It grows. The winter comes, the different season come. It gets hauled. It's hauled. And with experience and years on how to grow and navigate through life, they finally and eventually will bear fruits that we can enjoy. And same thing with life. I just knew that after winter, spring will come. It's a matter of time. It's not a matter if yes or not. It's a matter of time. And I just focus on that. And I knew back then, like, if there are downs, there are ups, and it is on me. And what I learned through that experience, it's and you mentioned that also a minute ago, it's the belief, like, and this is the answer to your question. It's just really what our belief is. What is our core belief? I remember many people who came visit me in my business who said, you are always so lucky with you everything that you touch works. And how do you do that? And my answer was always like, I just don't allow failure to happen based on my belief. If I start something and I do something, my mindset is like, it cannot fail. I do not let it happen. I believe so much in what I do. And then everything that faces me on my journey is just another situation that needs another decision. And this is how I go through life. And that's why I believe I am where I am, just not giving up. Doesn't matter what it is.
Into this and dissect this a little bit. What I love about this clip is the apple tree, the seasons of this apple tree. He talks heavily about the seed as it has to sprout up, go through multiple seasons, become that fiery, that firm foundational tree, the immovable tree. Look, apple trees go through a ton, and it does take time. A lot of you that have planted apple trees and not just apple trees, but you know that the seasons and the fruit, it takes some time to get that good crisp bite. And I love apples. But then he talked about how it goes through these seasons, right? The roots have to get deep. The roots have to go down, get deep into the ground, and be firm. And I love this because we all go through seasons in life. We all go through these highs and these lows, right? We all go through these changes, this ebb and flow that what goes through our life. But what I love about this is, yes, after winter comes what? Spring. So how do we shift that mindset? How do we shift the paradigm of I'm always in the winter, or I'm in the fall, into winter, back to fall, it doesn't work that way. 4 seasons are for a reason. 4 seasons are for an absolute reason. And what I love about after that, he talked about people coming up to him and says, Pascal, how is it that everything you touch works? He just said, that's just my mindset. That's the growth mentality that he has. He has just been through so much in his life that he just knows it's going to get better. He knows he has to weather a little bit of this storm to reap the benefits. He knows that he just has to get his roots deep down into the ground where the water is good and where the soil is really firm and tough. He knows that as he begins to spread out, that's where the biggest growth comes, because that tree's not going anywhere. So how do we get to that point? How do we just know that it's going to get better? Go back and reflect on obstacles in your life that you've overcome. Because I know there's plenty of them, right? There's a lot of you guys have gone through, either bankruptcy like Pascal, losing your house, losing your car, repos on car, right? A divorce, right? Getting into big arguments, not only with your spouse, but your kids, or getting arguments with yourself or your significant other. You go through these, whether loss of job, right? How many of you have like, I would love to start a business? Or how many of you are thinking, man, I would really love to write a book? Or I would really love to do something outside of just work, the mundane things of life. You have to understand that you've got, by putting one foot in front of the other, by being able to understand that there's this big growth that's ready, this mentality of I can do it, it's very hard to get through. So the best way to start and the easiest way to start, and it's easy, but yet we won't do it. It's the I am statement. See, there's a principle that I teach a lot about. It's about the I am statements. And here's how this principle works. To get the mind right, to get to where it receives and is willing to accept your growth and willing to get to that process of I am better. I can be better. I will be better. And that mindset. So it's very easy, but a lot of people will not do it because they're afraid, not afraid of how they look. They get embarrassed, their pride. Who cares? If it will change and help you grow, then that's the process. So here's what we do. The best way to do this is this. Go to the place that you're there the most of the time. And that's in the bathroom. In your bathroom is where you start in the beginning, in the morning. It's where you end during the day. You got to brush your teeth. So this is the principle. When you're doing your I am statements, you go get a marker, not a permanent marker, right? A whiteboard marker you can write up on the whiteboard. And you write big, bold letters. I am. And you're going to start from the top of the mirror and you're going to go all the way to the bottom. I am. You're going to write 6 of them. 6 of them. And every day in the morning, you're going to write I am, and then you're going to write I am powerful. I am a man of God or a woman of God. I am a leader. I am huge in the sense of change. I'm a life changer. And you're going to write all of these up on the board, 6 of them. And before you leave in the morning, you're going to take this nice deep breath and you're going to fill your lungs. Get those lungs deep. And then as you look at it, you're going to be like, I am power. But you're not going to say it. You are going to scream it. If you have people sleeping and kids, grab a pillow, scream it into the pillow. Every morning, you're going to do this. All of them. And at night, you're going to do the exact same thing. Big deep breath in. I am power. I am strength. I am immovable. And you're going to believe it. And then you're going to get a book, a journal, a piece of paper, a notebook. And you're going to write down I am and what are those 6 I am statements. And once you write them down, you're going to put that and you're going to seal that in your book. And you're going to go to bed. And when you wake up in the morning, guess what you get to do? Nope. You're going to erase you're going to keep I am, but you're going to erase what you were. You're going to erase those. And then you're going to write 6 new things. And you'll do that every day for 30 days. And I promise you this, if you will do that for 30 days, think about this. 6 statements for 30 days, that's 180 words. 180 words of affirmations to yourself. To yourself. If you don't know what other words to write, look up synonyms for power. Look up different words for strength, mind. Look up different words in the dictionary. That's why we have one. Look them up. Every single day you're writing a new one. 30 days, 180 new words every single day. And you're putting that in a book. And you put it in your book, what you call your book of power. Your book of I am. But here's the thing. You are saying it twice a day. So it's not just 180 words. It's not. It's 360 times you are saying to yourself, I am this and I am that. You are literally calling into existence your zone of genius, your future self. You are literally calling in existence and erasing whatever negative you have. It's tough. I get it. I will tell you this. Most people that I've taught this to only will do it for the first 7 days because they feel great, and you will feel great. They'll say, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good. No, you're not. 30 days. It takes 30 days to start a good habit. It takes an additional 30 days to keep that habit. But it only takes 5 days to start a bad habit. Think about that. Think about that for a second. We are breaking bad habits by affirming who we are. That's what Pascal did. Think about it. Go back and listen to it. Oh yeah. Go back and listen to this. The tree, the apple tree, he just weathered the storm, went through it all. When you can affirm, when you can call into existence and start that process, right? Because you create a habit, and that's what we're doing. You're writing your habits. You're creating a book of I am, a book of affirmations, who you are, and how, and you're self-proclaiming, this is what I am going to become. I am this. I'm already there. Whether you're there or not, when you write down the I am statements, you are now calling into existence that very thing that you want to become. Whew! Man, it was so phenomenal when I heard that. Oh, it was so good. So good. So good. My next point, before I get to my next point, we're going to listen to this clip real quick. Listen to this. We'll be right back.
If they have the thought process of...
If I do it, I might fail. But if I don't do it, I'll never know.
It's basically making a choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's making a choice, and I think the biggest poison is regret. The biggest poison is regret. And by the way, there are studies that prove that people on the deathbed ask the question, what would you do different in your life? And what is it that doesn't fulfill you, that you just feel like I missed it? And the number one answer is, I didn't do enough what I actually wanted to do, and I regret it. And that's super toxic. And that's one of the advice I will give. If you have an idea that comes to you, not you trying to make money, if you have an idea that comes to you, meaning you are in spirit, you get inspired by something, you are in spirit, this is the moment that you need to realize, hey, something is happening here. Something just came along my way. Pick it up, observe. It can't be the wrong decision. It's not possible. What turns out as a failure, if in case, is your human brain listening to everything around you instead of staying in spirit and actually follow the voice. And so I believe if you have that thoughts, it's just like, go back to the source. When did this idea appear? How did it make me feel? How is it in line with my values? How would it make me feel if I would achieve that goal? And if the feeling is good, just go for it. But go for it with a strategy.
Okay. I hate to say that what I just went through with the I am statements. Did you listen to that part from Pascal? Did you listen to that part? If you didn't, go back. I know that's condescending. I know that thing seems, but I know that's condescending and seems mean. So I had to correct myself. But listen, here's the thing. When I interview individuals that are high performers, when I interview individuals that have just been through enough crap that can edify and say, yes, the I am statements are massive. They are huge. That clip we just listened to, that clip was one of my favorite clips. Regret. Holy crap. The regret is massive in this life. It is the crucible of what crushes dreams. Regret. Regret that I didn't try it. Regret that I didn't put forth any kind of effort. Regret that I didn't write down that thought that I had. Regret that I wish I would have taken that step. Regret that I wish I would have spoken to that person, or regret that I didn't get enough courage to stand up for what I believe in. My regret that I didn't ask for that raise or that promotion. The regret that I should have went after a different job. The regret of I should have been around for my kids more. There's all kinds of regret. And that's what Pascal was saying. The biggest killer in life, the dream killers, the crippling state of a mind is regret. Regret that I didn't plan out my day better. The regret that I didn't plan out, those of you that are married or have significant others, regret that I didn't actually plan out taking someone on a date, going on date night, being intentional with that. I will tell you, right now in this state, 2023, I am horrible when it comes to planning out date nights with the hot wife. That is horrible. She's smoking hot. She is smoking hot. But I struggle with planning out dates. I struggle with it. I'm very good at just spontaneous, come home, hey, we're leaving, we're going here, we're going there. That's fun. But I know that she yearns to be wine and dine because, heck, that's what I did before we got married. That's just one aspect of regret. But the regret that he is talking about is in line with that. Is in line those at the end he talked about, are they your core values? What are your core values? Have you laid out your core values? Have you systemized and looked at your core values? I look at the 5S, right? Not in any particular order, right? Faith, family, finance, fun, and fitness. Faith, family, finance, fun, fitness. Core values. I can tell you of the 5 where I struggle. 100% I can tell you where I struggle. But because I recognize where I struggle, the regret is I've not done much to get through those core 5s. I do. A good friend of mine, Brandon Holmes, shout out to B Holmes. If you don't followed him, go follow him, go look him up, B Holmes. He talks about the circle of life. In fact, the interview, if you go to those of you who go to the YouTube page, you can go down to the book, go to the Brandon Holmes interview. He will talk about what he calls his circle of life. And what he does and how he lays it out is absolutely powerful. If you don't think he knows what he's talking about, the guy knows what he's talking about. He owns a huge company. A huge company. And his values and his mindset are in line with what Pascal has taught us. The regret. Are they part of your core values? What are your core values? And it's got to be deeper than just this is my why. It's got to be so much deeper than that. It's got to be deeper than I'm a man of faith, or I'm a woman of faith. I'm of faith, I'm religious. Everybody, yeah, 100%. How many people do you see get on the TV and they're like, first I like to thank, God or the universe or Buddha, whatever it may be. That's one thing, great. But how does it line up? How are you aligning yourself with those values in your life? And have you systematically said, these are non-negotiable traits? These are non-negotiable things that I won't give up. I won't do. Have you gone that intentional with your core values, your why? Have you gone that intentional with what is moving you forward and progressing you forward into this life? Because if it's simply get up, go to work, have a good job and go home and hang out and go to bed, that is a pathetic, horrible life. I will say that. You can DM me. Go ahead, DM me and tell me I'm wrong. But if you wake up every single day, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to come home and hang out a little bit and then go to bed. That is a horrible life. Now, that being said, I understand that life is probably a lot better than outside the United States. I mean, I talk to people outside the US and they would love that type. There's so many people that are in impoverished countries. 100% do not discredit that. So let me say this. If you are in the United States of America, okay, if you are in the pursuit of happiness, if you haven't seen the show, go watch it. Shout out, great show, Chris Gardner's story. If you are in that pursuit of happiness and you're saying to yourself, I live in one of the best countries in the world where there's a plethora of jobs, where there's a plethora of places to go to help me become better. If your whole thing is I wake up, I go to work, I come home, hang out with my family or yourself or your dog, and then go to bed, you're just basically waiting for your time to die. And then what? And then what? Then what? You ever want to know how bad regret is? Gary Vee talks about how he goes in and talks to people that are in nursing homes, older people, and says, what do you wish? And they regret not taking more chances, not doing more things, not living. Those of you who follow my, the hot wife, right? The mixed tribe mama. We have a thing called live list. It's different from the bucket list. There's a bucket list, there's a live list. I can't remember who she found it from, but I'll find it and put it up here. But we do a live list, and we're living every single month. We're living. It's a little more difficult now that the kids are older, but that's an excuse. That is an absolute excuse. And I will tell you, in 2022, we did not do very well at this live list. In fact, we did maybe a handful of things if we were lucky, if I was really thinking about it. And I will tell you, our kids absolutely love this live list. So that was part of my core values, right? Family, finance, fun, fitness, faith. What are your values? What are your core values? And how non-negotiable are they? Do you negotiate with yourself? Do you justify? I'll say justify. That's really what it is. You're justifying. Pascal's saying that's what you don't do. You don't get to a space where you can justify when you do and when you don't do things. When you justify not living. My gosh. Whew, that was good. So look, go back, read that part. Listen to that part. Not read. Can't really read because there's nothing there to read. Go back and listen to it. It's phenomenal. And my five things that I try to focus on all the time: faith, family, finance, fun, fitness. Those are values that we have. Those are my values. I can tell you right now, there have been multiple times last year in 2022 that I just absolutely sucked at all five of them. But there were times when I did a lot better, and you could just feel it. Just feel it. Oh man, we've got more to unpack. We've got more to come. Hold on, here we go. Here's this next clip, and get ready for it. Oof.
Often we are blinded by what we see in social media. We see the success. We hear about the money stories. We see the cars, the houses, and all that stuff. But all these people, including me, there's a life behind that. And I wake up sometimes with anxiety. I wake up with not want to do what I know I need to do in order to achieve my goals. Don't want to go to the gym, want to eat trash, I call it, instead of healthy food. Want to do all the things that I know doesn't bring me to my goals. And in different areas in life, these demons, they show up. And for me, it's really, I started to develop a strategy, and that's why the company I own now, it's called Strategy Achievers, because I believe we need a strategy in business and life. And we also need to realize that business is just part of life. So we have a manual for pretty much everything that exists that we buy, but for life. And this is what I started to develop for myself, to really pull up a journal, a piece of paper, and sit down and really think and listen, and not just like I write down real quick something. No, I took a day off. I go and I think, like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Like the question of purpose, like everybody's talking about the purpose, but who of us or your listeners, or even you and me, how many times did we actually really, really, really take the time and think deeper and deeper and ask what the question why every time when we have an answer? Like if we feel like we have an answer, but why, to really go deeper and deeper in our subconscious mind, to bring that truth, the essence out of us, to find clarity. And this is what I did and decided to do in all areas of life, not just for business, not just for my relationships, not just for my health, but for everything. What do I want to achieve? Why do I believe I want to achieve it? How can I achieve it if I'm clear on it? And again, vision is also such a word. Everybody's talking about the vision, and it sounds so good. And to have a vision statement on a paper and then it's done. How much do you live that vision? How clear is that picture of your vision? How many times do you close your eyes and actually spend time in that future? How does it look like? How does it feel like? How much time do you spend in that future as already achieved? And then the next step is, how do I get there? The strategy, it's basically the mission, right? Am I truly on mission with how I think, act, and feel every single day, with all the decisions that I have to make during a day? Because to be on mission, it's basically nothing more than my identity in action. This is when I am on mission. But that comes with a challenge. Who am I? My identity. I'm not Pascal Bachmann, the entrepreneur. Who am I? If I take all that stuff away, my family, my identity, my weight, my look, my body, like, what is there left? So to have clarity on that identity, on the vision, to be on mission, and really navigate through life with that manual that all of us can create in all areas of life, makes it easy for me to overcome these demons, because I always know I just need to train one reflex. Every time something pop up, focus on the plan. I don't need to think. I just need to create that one habit. Every time I feel I go off-road or something comes, I just need to realize that. I need to become an observer. Once I realize it, boom, back to the plan. Don't even think, just look, because it's prepared. I open my agenda. What is on there? Okay, just do it.
All right, there's a lot to unpack on this one. I chose this clip because there are so many gems within that short period of time. I mean, so many gems. Okay, listen. I love how Pascal addressed waking up and the demons that are there, right? He talked about sometimes he wakes up and he has an anxiety. He doesn't want to do the things that he should be doing. Yes, he wants to eat, crappy food, as he calls them, crappy, right? Chips are good, pizza. I'm like, come on, that's always good. Except what it does to his body and what it does to all of our body, not just his, but all of our body. These demons, I love how he calls them demons. I love how he puts a face to the name, a face to what it looks like. Anxiety, right? What does that face look like? It's that deep down we can't get out of. Look, I've had anxiety big time. 100% I have. I've been depressed multiple times. Still, it's a struggle. 100% a struggle. And I love how he talks about these demons, because when he was saying demons, I instantly could go and think about, man, I remember what my body felt like. It was almost like it was being taken over. It literally was. And my mindset was being taken over. And when he is able to recognize and put a face to it, I love that, because once we start putting faces to things that really get us down, or things that aren't aligned with our values. He talked a lot about his values and mission. Oh my gosh. And identity. That's the biggest thing, is what is our identity? What is your identity? What is my identity? I love what he talked about. I'm not just Pascal. Your identity is deep rooted inside. It's a core belief. And you think about I think about what is my identity. I think about, when I listen to that, is what is really my identity? What am I trying to do? What am I working towards? What is my mission? And how often do I spend thinking and pondering about my mission? Do I close my eyes and visualize what truly is my mission? What is my objective? What am I progressing forward? And did you catch that part in in that interview. Did you catch that part when he talked about, do you close your eyes and visualize that you've already accomplished it? That you're already there and you're pulling your future self to you. I have said that, I can't even tell you how many times over the last 10 years. 10 years of pulling yourself in, pulling that future self. Now before, when I would say it, I didn't have a word or a way to say it. In these last 4 years, I've really been able to found it's that future self. It is your future self that you're trying to pull because you're visualizing where you're going. It's your future self that gives you that little nudge of, you can do it. It's your future self that is telling you, don't give up, because the reward of you not giving up, and the reward of you not having non-negotiable habits, and the reward of you not lying or cheating to yourself or letting yourself down because you're so used to doing that, the reward is so much greater. Every single day, are you intentional? Are you intentionally sitting and thinking and visualizing you have accomplished this task? You've accomplished this goal. Is your board up? Is your vision board up? And are you looking at that and say, this is my day. This is what I'm going towards. This is my future self I'm pulling myself to my future self. Are you sitting in there looking and being intentional about how you are spending your day? And when I say you, I am 100% talking about myself. I am 100% talking about, am I, Cameron Gilmore, am I every single day visualizing my goals, visualizing me being in that present, visualizing me speaking on stage, visualizing the group, in events that we're going to be doing? Am I visualizing meeting people globally that have listened to these podcasts, that have listened to these speakers, that have gone to an event? Am I visualizing what my life is in 10 years, in 5 years? Am I visualizing the goals that I've set and who I am? Am I visualizing it? What is my strategy behind that? That is the biggest one. That one right there is massive for me, because oftentimes I just don't have a strategy. Oftentimes I just, again, shoot from the hip, whatever feels good. Get into that motion, write it down. But what is my strategy? How am I going to accomplish the goals that we've set out? How am I going to accomplish my personal goals, my mental goals, right? My faith, my family, my finances, my fun, and my my fitness. I love working out. I absolutely love working out. It is one of the funnest things to do. Let me tell you why. Those of you that are like, oh, I don't like to work out, it's too, but no, bull crap. Let me tell you why you like working out, because it's the funnest thing in the world. The purpose, and I'm going to use this because everybody knows what a dumbbell is. If you don't know what a dumbbell is, pick up a rock. The rock is not just, it is there for beauty, but that dumbbell, when you pick up that 45 dumbbell, the design for that dumbbell is for you to fail. That is the whole design of the dumbbell. There is no love. There is no emotion. There is no pats on the back. There is no attaboys. There's no you can do this. The whole design, the whole makeup, the whole composition of that 45-pound dumbbell is so you can fail. That is it. That's his whole design. You can never beat it. Ever. And I'm not talking about, oh, I can lift and do a curl, or I can do a shoulder press. No, you can do one. Go ahead, great. You won. Can you do 2? Can you do 3? Can you do 4? Can you do 5? Can you do 6? Can you do 7? Can you do 8? Can you do 9? Can you do 10? All of you, oh, I can keep, yeah. Oh yeah, I keep going. But there is a point when that design, there is a point when you reach the purpose of that dumbbell, and you know what it is. Your body is shaking. Your mind now has to take over. And can you push one more? Mentally, can you push through the pain that your body is telling you to stop, 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 stop? But your mind is telling you can go, you can go, you can go. And there is a point where the body says, we literally, physically cannot go anymore. And when you drop that pound, when you drop that weight, And when you no longer can lift that 45-pound weight, that 45-pound dumbbell now has accomplished its goal. You have failed. You have failed because you could not sustain lifting it. But in the process of failing, in the process of you lifting this dumbbell, of you going through that mental exertion, the fatigue from your body, what happens? What happens? The growth of pushing through. You won't see it right away. You won't see it. No. We never see the growth. We don't. There comes a point where we do see it. And how do you see it? You can take a picture of yourself. You take a picture of yourself when you start and say 3 months, I'm going to take another picture. You can take a picture every week if you want. Go ahead. 100%. Document your growth. Document your growth. Watch what happens if you go to the gym and they're not documenting your progress. If you are trying to run a business and you're not documenting your progress, if you are trying to build yourself up mentally, emotionally, go through the 5 F's and not documenting the progress, how then can you know what you are doing? How then can you celebrate those little victories? How then can you look back and say, holy crap, I actually did something that I never thought I would or could be able to do? How are you able to celebrate when there's no documentation? How? I asked that question because people have asked me that question multiple times. How are you able to celebrate? How are you able to give yourself a pat on the back? And you think, well, you shouldn't get bull crap. You give yourself a pat on the back. 100%. 100%. You get your butt to the gym. You walk in the gym. You work out. I don't care if you work out. You work out for 2 minutes. Get on the treadmill. I can't do this. And you leave. You give yourself a pat on the back because you did something that was hard. You did something that you were uncomfortable doing. You did something that made you aware of your surroundings and say, I did not like this. And why didn't you like it? Was it because you thought everybody was looking at you? Newsflash, you go to the gym, nobody looks at you. They're so zoned in what they do. But you can go online and see all those people taking pictures and videos of people at the gym. Everybody laughs. Shame on them. Shame on them for being a bully. Shame on them for making somebody else feel bad because they're building their dreams and their goals. Shame on them. Don't get me started on that because that's a whole nother topic. But when you do hard things, that's how you progress. Go back to the apple tree. Go back to that first clip of the apple tree when Pascal Bachmann talked about that. Weathering the storm. The winter, the fall and the winters are those hard times. That's when it's the most brutal for you. That's when it's difficult. That's when the nights are longer, the days are shorter. The cool air comes. But with a strategy and you're writing it down and you're visualizing, here I am, my future self. I am calling into existence my future self through my thought process, my believability. I'm writing it down, calling out it through the I am statements. I'm screaming into my pillow. I'm looking at that visualization right in front of me. I can see it every single day. I'm saying 6 I am statements in the morning and at night, and then I change it up every single day for 30 days. For 360 times, I have said I am this for 30 days, and you're building your vision, you're building your values, you're building yourself on who you are and who you know you can become and who you are. And this is who I am, and you can't change that. The social media out there that you see with everybody taking pictures of themselves, I'm so happy, I'm so joyful. Yes, in the moment you are, but oftentimes that's not the case. You see the 5% of what everybody's doing that's all happy and joyful, wonderful. What is the 95% that it took to get there? Where's the 95% of the struggle, the strain, the pushing, the grinding, the getting up when nobody else wants to get up, staying up a little bit later, controlling your thought process, understanding your demons and knowing where your demons are? That is why I love that clip. It is so powerful. So powerful because it's truth bombs and nobody likes the truth bombs. But that's what we need is more truth in this life. You need to be more truthful to yourself. You need to understand when you are great and you need to understand when you absolutely suck, because I suck a lot. But that's okay because I understand there's a process to become better. And that's what I'm working on. And that's what we're all working on. Become better. Become better because your future self is pulling you in. Your future self is begging you to stay strong. Are you going to fail? 100%. That is the growth. There is no growth without failure. There is no growth without being sore and hurting. There is no growth in this life. If you don't believe me, go listen to Pascal Bachmann. That's why he was on. That's why he was on. And the strategy, if you don't know, I don't know how to have strategy. I don't know how to get there. Ask Pascal. Go ahead. Hit him up. How do I do this? DM me. You want my help? DM me. Go ahead. But it comes with some pain. It will come with some pain. Oh my gosh. Woo! We got more. We've got more coming. Trust me, we've got more coming. This next clip, hey, you be the judge.
The first thing I want to say is I didn't had to tell her. I decided to. And the decision, I made it for the release. Because
say that part again. I want you to really say that part again, because many of us, millions of people need to hear what you just said. So start over with that point and then continue answering.
Sure. I didn't need to tell my wife back then that I have an affair. I decided to. It was a conscious decision, and I was thinking about it a lot because, you know, even in front of my today wife, she knows I love my ex-wife. I love that woman back there, but it was a different kind of love. It was care. It was a deeper, like the human connection. I believe that we all come from the same place. And for many of your listeners, maybe it turns them off, but this is just how I see it and I believe it. I believe we all come from the same place. We all, let's call it the light. Mm-hmm. We all have that light within us. That's what make us, that's what gives us life. We have that light. Now, what happens during life is we all have different experiences. We grow up in different neighborhoods. We grow up with different parents. We grow up with different social status. We grow up with pretty much everything is different for every human being. And what happened through these experiences, we all create these layers, all these different layers that build us and build the character. And years later, we have all these layers and masks, and we meet each other, two human beings. But what actually happened is layer face layer, or liar face liar. And this is how we interact with each other. We try to be someone. We try to be something. We try to prove something. We try to express ourselves the way we would like to be perceived and stuff like that. But what I try to do is, back then already, I try to oversee all these layers and connect with the light in the other human being, because I know it's there. And this helps me not to judge, because I know that all these layers are the result of how we grow up. And I can't judge people for how they grow up. And back then with my wife, I didn't give her any fault for doing what I did. I don't think and never thought it is right and fair what I did. but I had my own reasons why I did what I did. And I still respected my affair, my girlfriend back then, and my wife as human beings. And I decided not to judge. And what to come back to your questions, I decided to do that because I got tired of lying, tired of remembering things, tired of having that stress in all areas of my life. And I realized and felt it, that I live against my own core values every single day, because I knew in my heart, I'm honest, I'm fair, I treat people well. But one other quality that I have is take the self-responsibility. And I lived against all this stuff, and it got heavier and heavier. And I just decided, okay, I need to stop that. How do I stop that? With another lie? It's not possible. The only way is to tell the truth.
Okay, hold on. We're going to unpack this because there's a lot going on. Now listen, 100%. Pascal owned up. He owned up to his mistakes. He owned up to what he was doing, right? He was living a lie. He was living a double lie, living one over the other. But go through and break this down. Break it down so we all understand, and I understand. He was talking about first taking accountability. At the very beginning, he said he didn't have to tell his wife, but he chose to. He made the conscious choice to say enough is enough. Enough is absolutely enough. I need to be better. I can be better. My mind racking back and forth and trying to live two lives. Look, if those of you, any one of you that are listening to this are in the same situation as him, you will get caught. 100% you're going to get caught. It's not about if, it's always about when. And when you do get caught, man up. I'll say man up, or woman up. I don't know how to say it, but right, just own it. Own it. Because it's in that moment, your character, yes, it's already going to be taking a massive hit, because nobody should ever step out. Look, if you're cheating, just stop. Enough. Okay? Enough. Stop being a kid. Stop playing. You're not in high school anymore. You're not just running around. Okay? Stop being the playboy or the playgirl. Stop. Enough. Enough. And if you got kids involved, look, stop. Stop. I'm not going to make a decision on what you should do and how you move forward, but I will tell you this. Own your decisions. If you did that, if that's what you're doing, then own it. Own that decision. Say, this is what I was doing. This is what I did. And it'll be up to the choice. The choice will be up to your partner, your spouse, what they determine to do from there. What they determine to do from there. But make the decision. Make that decision. You are taking accountability. You are becoming a better person. In this progression of life, in this growth-minded process, okay? You can't grow mentally. You cannot grow mentally, right? You can't have all these significant changes if you're still doing crap. You can't. It's impossible. You can cheat and lie to yourself for as long as you can, but you cannot grow if you're still in the mire. You can't. You can't be waist deep in the mire or in the mud. Talk about the mud. You can't be waist deep in the mud and spray yourself off and go, man, I'm clean. No. You get up to your chest, I'm going to spray this. No, up to your neck, you're going to spray. No, you can't. You're still in the muck. Get out of the muck. Get out of the muck. Look, take it on anything. Porn. Oh my, come on. Come on. If you're watching porn, enough. Please. There's nothing good that comes from it. I don't care if you say, well, we watch porn together. Why? Come on. Why? If you're in a relationship, or if you're married, or if you have a significant other, if you have a spouse, and you guys are intimate, what in the world do you need porn for? What? You have something on screen. You have a person here physically. Come on. And if you're like, oh, it's just not doing it for you, then break it off. It just destroys you. Go back And listen to my boy Josh, the effects that come from it. Own your decisions, become a decision maker and say, this is what it is. And listen, those of you that are going to come back and you're going to DM me because I love it. Well, you don't understand. I've had an addiction my whole life. Then get fixed. Then go get help. Well, it's just harder than you think. Bull crap. Bull crap. Bull crap. Don't tell me it's harder than it thinks. I know it's not. It's hard, 100%, right? It's boys. It's never, I always tell my boys, it's never about if, it's about when. When you see it, what do you do? And how do you block it out? You need the tools. Go get the help. Own the decision. If you're lying at work, you're not doing a great job, own the decision. Tell the truth. Come clean. It's taking that accountability. It's stepping up and saying, I am a new person. I'm a new individual. And you own that decision because you take that accountability and you say, I will no longer allow myself, me, to do any of this. I won't. I can't. Because I'm growing. This is a growth minded. This whole podcast is about growing mentally and emotionally, spiritually and physically and financially. It's about that growth, becoming something new, becoming something better. If you're asking for help, I got plenty of hours and hours, hundreds of hours of listening. If it's not me, go find somebody else that's a podcaster, somebody else who's bringing value. Go listen to them. What did they do? How did they get out of the muck? I'm telling you right now, 2023 is going to be huge for everybody who's listening, for yourself, for me included. Big goals, but it's the decision that I want to change. It's the decision that I need to become better. And when you make the decision, when you cast it out into the world, and when you're like, I'm going to become better, I have to become better, that's when the journey absolutely starts. The mental process that you are going to go through, the mental strain, the emotional strain, it is going to wreck you. Some books that you'll probably want to read to help you through it. The first book I always recommend to people, look, go buy my book. I tell people, buy my book. It's called I'm Not Your Sales Guru. Right? It's not a lot. It's not for financial, because what I'm saying is, well, here's what I'll do. Check this out. How about this? The first 20, we'll do 20, why not? 2023, right? 23, my man, MJ. The first 23 people that DM me directly, that say, I want change, I will send you my book for free. There you go. First 23 people to DM me that say, I want change. DM me. Boom. Give her free. And then tag somebody, tag a friend, tag somebody who needs to listen. If they feel like that they could benefit, then tag them. Tag them. That's all you got to do. Tag them, make sure I'm part of it. Boom. Free book on me. The next book that you want to probably go after and get, Andy Andrews, The Traveler's Gift. 8 principles, unbelievable. It's all about owning your decisions. Understand your decisions and own them and start building yourself. Because when you say to yourself, I declare today, you put your flag pulled down, the cornerstone, however you want to do it. I declare today that I am a new person. I'm a new individual. Oh my gosh. You wait till you hear what's coming up next. You wait till the next guest we've got coming on. They all talk about this. They all have gone through struggle. They've all gone through strife. They've all been hit with something huge. Come on. Pascal was in and out of foster care. Orphan, in foster care. Come on. In and out. Trouble. Went down the life of drugs, alcohol, gang, violence, the whole 9 yards. He went through all of that and got out. How? Through martial arts. Learned discipline. Disciplined his mind. Disciplined his action. Disciplined who he was. Disciplined and said, I am no longer going to be what the society or where I come from, that's no longer going to dictate or hold a cloud over my head. No more. No more. 100% no more. And because he made that choice, we're all benefiting from it for today. Unbelievable. And you need a strategy. You need a strategy on how to become better and what you should do to become better. There's got to be a strategy. Plan without a strategy, it doesn't work. Go to his core four. Talks about the core four. Phenomenal core four. If you missed it, it's all part of the interview. It's in there. Own the decisions so you can become a better person. Become the truth. No more lying. Stop with the lying. We punish our kids for lying all the time. All of you do. I do. Kids lie. It's the worst. If you lie to me, there's two things that are worse than the F word. Absolutely cannot stand. Two things. One, lying. Being lied to is the worst. It's horrible. Second, is saying I can't. That's worse than the F word. And then obviously taking the Lord's name in vain, saying G-O-D, no, to me, not happening. That's just me. Okay? If you can relate to the first two, fine. If you are a God-fearing person or Christian, perfect. Or whatever. Whatever, doesn't have to be God. But taking that name, horrible. Horrible. Don't lie. Worse than the F word. Do not say I can't. Do not say I can't. It's worse than the F word to me. And obviously taking God's name in vain. No, thank you. No. Those are unnegotiable habits. Those are unnegotiable things. I do not negotiate. I hear that. Ugh, gets me fired up. Gets me going. No. Don't do it. You should have that same feeling. Get there. Man, I'm telling you that we're going. We're going. All right, we got a few more of these and we're going to wrap this thing up. This has been absolutely just mind-blowing. Come on, let's get some more, shall we? Let's get some more. If you're watching this on YouTube, I would love to rip my shirt off. Not yet, though.
I need to give a shout out to my biggest sponsor, Warrior Energy Drink. The reason why we partnered together is because we have the same mindset, we have the same drive. We're for the people. We're about the people. Look, Warrior Energy Drink has 0 sugar options, and they got water as well. Low calories, great taste, very affordable, no crash, big energy fast, high in B vitamins, awesome design, culture design, 160 milligrams of caffeine. Other energy drinks have way too much, and they're always giving it back to their community. They're paying it forward. Partner with them, guys. Click the link below. Go get yourself your own Warrior Energy Drink and go crush today.
So as we wrap up, as we come to the close, right, guys? Look, this is what it's all about. You are the light. You are someone's light. You are the story that will bring peace and joy and comfort and love to people all around you. You are what they need at that exact moment, because you are in a space and you are in a place that will allow them to feel that energy that you have that exudes through you for them. And they will bond with you and they will connect with you. I cannot tell you how many people have just said, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. I can't. You guys are the best, 100% the best, because you like it, you share it, you subscribe, and you're like, you need to listen to this. Not for me, but because it's building you and it's building you in this growth mode. 2023 is your growth mode. Find the system, find the plan, find the support system, find the I am statements. Huge. The last thing I want to say is this word perfection. I mentioned it earlier. I said I'm going to come back to it. Perfect. I think it's one of the worst words to ever say is perfect. It's not. There's no such thing as perfection. There is no such thing as perfection. There is a pursuit into something, but there is no such thing as perfection, or I'm going to give it 100%. No, there is no such thing as 100%. And I know I'm going to hear this. You hear people 120%, 150%, 200%. There is no such thing. Let me break it down for you just like this. Are you ready? Here we go. 100% effort leads to failure. Really? Let me just explain. Let's go back to our dumbbell real quick. Let's go back to the dumbbell analogy. I pick up the dumbbell and I'm, whoop. Oh, that's not 100%. I'm not giving 100% because it's easy. Then I go and lift it and it's starting to struggle. Ooh, now I got to really work for it. Now I'm really working for it. Really working. And now I can barely move and get my arm up. And I can barely get my muscle. I can barely get that thing up. And then they hit a point where you can't even lift it. You cannot even lift it. You have now given 100%. That is your 100%. All out. All out. When you reach 100% and you can't move, you have failed. You have failed. Don't believe me? Then what is 100%? It's not, I'm going to go and do this. No, that's not. Come on. If you can do it, it's easy and you can move it. Okay, it's not 100%. You don't need to give 100%. But if you're at a point and you are pushing a bolt, to go back to if you are pushing hard, you're giving 100% and it hits failure and you have now hit failure, you now are that is 100%. You have just failed. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I am wrong. You go all out and you're sold out on everything that you do, 100%. You lay down at night and you're like, crap, I got nothing else to give. Right. You have hit exhaustion, AKA failure. This has been another phenomenal episode of the Art Study of You. This is one of the fastest growing out there. I'm telling you, it's because of you. My love for you all. Never give up. I love you more than you'll ever know. 100%. Don't ever give up. Keep pushing, keep growing, keep grinding, getting through the challenge. This is going to be awesome. This episode is going to be absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait for you guys. Again, the free books, right? Go to the books. DM me. I'll get you. Don't you worry. DM me and tag somebody you don't know. Tag them on this for this episode, for the episodes to them. Boom. Got it. Verse 23. We got you guys. Hey, thank you so much. We love you. This has been another fantastic episode of the Art Study of You. We'll catch you in the next one.